Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So EX4 is a little ways off still. It's about a month away, but I like to take this time to look at the next set and just kind of get an idea in my head of cards that I should go ahead and pick up before the set gets here, right? Just so I have everything I need on hand to build the decks to play in this next set. So that's what this video is about. Now, I have started to kind of lean these videos over a little bit more into get the cards before the price goes up too much on them. Now, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be mentioning has, of course, lesser rarity versions. And so if you're just looking to pick up these cards before the next set, then there are cheaper alternatives, but we will be looking at the more expensive versions of them just to kind of judge the market on them and if they're worthy of picking up now in multiples, so that way when the inevitable price hike comes, you'll have yours before it does. Don't forget the featured memory marker this month, though, is Renamon. So if you're playing like a Hunter's deck right now, which is super popular, this is a really great memory marker to pick up for that deck. It's super cute, really just the perfect size for all your memory marker uses there. This is handmade and hand-painted as well hand-painted and handmade out of clay, all by my wife, Digimon. You can find this on her Etsy page, link in the description below, or if you are a Patreon member, this is this month's reward for Patreon. Also on her Etsy page is all of her previous memory markers that she has made for us on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch, and a few of those have been, there's some updates. So if you haven't been over there in a while, definitely go check it out because there's a lot of updated stuff for you. Also, if you're interested in ordering cards online, I suggest checking out cardtrader.com. They actually are an incredible site for ordering cards online, similar to TCG Player, but these guys cut down on your shipping cost. What they do is they gather all the cards from across the globe with whatever language you're looking for. They'll gather all of the cards you're wanting in their warehouse, and then you only pay for a single shipping cost to get all the cards that you're wanting, so shipped to you. And whether that's singles or sealed product doesn't matter. And then also, if you use my affiliate link in the description below there, you can actually get a free $2 to spend on anything you want just for signing up. And just for signing up, it helps support me on the channel as well, as whether you're ordering something or just signing up in general, I get a kickback, so it helps support the channel without even having to donate anything. So if you want to help support the channel, just go sign up for an account on cardtrader.com and check it out. I do think that getting all my shipping all into one single cost is really great, because that's one of the things I do not like about TCGplayer.com is the fact that I have to pay for all these different shipping things. Even if it's for like a $2 card, I have to pay $1 shipping, or buying a 50-cent card and paying $1 for shipping always feels so bad. So here they'll just gather up all the cards in one place and then ship them to me for one cost. I am a big fan of cardtrader.com. So yeah, definitely go check them out. Please support the channel. All right, so I've got the new set pulled up here for EX4, so we can just kind of get an idea of what decks are going to be supported the most, right? And so we've got a couple obvious ones here right off the bat. So we got Rise Greymon here, Geo Greymon, and Agumon. And yes, these are for our dinosaur type Agumons and things like that. So these are going to be great support, of course, for the Shine Greymon deck. If you're not aware of, it is arguably, at least in Japan, it was the next tier 1 deck after Beelzemon as the most popular, most played deck. So we've got some support here for that. Looks like we've got some Chaos Gallantmon support, so that's really awesome. So we'll have to look at something for that. We're seeing a lot of Galgamon support here. We see a Gray Knightsmon, but new Met Galgamon and stuff like that, Galgamon, as well as we got some Blue Flare support here and some new Greymons and Melbergermons, so we can take a look at that stuff. Going in here to yellow, looks like we got some new Renamon stuff, but they've got a new Evo chain for that deck here. It's like the darker shadow version, so there is a little bit of support. Now, this doesn't have to do with plugins or anything like that, so any of our old support for plugins and things like that isn't going to be really used for this deck with the Kazuchamon deck. It is still very cool. Green, while there is some like there is new support here for Terriermon and Lotmon and things like that. I'll just go ahead and let you know now, though. This stuff is very contained. So a lot of the stuff that you'll need for the deck a lot of it is included in EX4, and a lot of the older stuff doesn't necessarily combo with it outside of just the names, right? So you got like Black Galgamon that can Evo on top of Lotmon or Terriermon. So you can include like, old Lotmons and old Terriermons if you want, but the new stuff is going to really synergize the best with the deck. Same thing here going into the black section. We got a new Agumon Gabumon line here in the, it's the Blitz Greymon as well as the Cress Garurumon. So your Alter S fans out there, we got a new deck for them dedicated to Alter S here. But again, the same thing. It's very self-contained, and a lot of the older cards, like the old Cress Garurumon, the old Blitz Greymon, the old Alter S, are all extremely dated in what they do. Like, extremely dated, back to like BT3, I think. So they're not great. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. The old ones are not great. The new ones, it's all, again, self-contained. You get the whole deck pretty much all in this one set. Going into purple here, we've got Ravemon, which is a very cool. Look at that. That is so cool. A whole new kind of like mechanics and things like that for the deck and like play style. So that'll be really cool. But again, there's not really any existing support for it. And then that's actually the end of it here. And then of course we got our Omnimon Alter here that goes with the other deck, and then the Ruin mode for Shine Greymon, which we're already planning to look at Shine Greymon. So we'll go back up here. Let's go ahead and just start from the beginning and work our way through some cards that I just want to throw out there for you guys to keep an eye on. Some of these are going to be pretty obvious, right? So I did pull these up earlier today. Hopefully the prices haven't fluctuated too much. I wouldn't imagine so unless there was like a fresh buyout somewhere. So Shine Greymon and your Marcus Altarts from the current BT12 set. Shine Greymon's already pretty up there at $50 a copy. Marcus at $35. That's about where a secret rare I feel normally sits, right? Is $35 is about right. So that feels pretty good. That Shine Greymon feels really heavy right now at $49, almost $50 basically. Marcus not bad though for Altarts. You could probably pick these up in trades decently well. The issue is finding people that are willing to trade them that aren't trying to play the deck themselves, and that's going to be the difficult part for sure. And that's actually kind of it really for those. Now I do have the original Shine Greymon here, and go ahead and look at this. $6, and it's up to 10 now, 11 with some recent sales and things like that. Yeah, look at these latest sales, 13, 13, 13. Yeah, people want these. It's a solid one of include, and these old gold background circuit board foils were some of the best in the early days of the games. I mean, even today, like these foils with the gold background, the circuit backgrounds are some of the best in the game. Really, really cool stuff. So picking up one of these, not a bad idea. And clearly, we're kind of late to the party on this one, as the prices are already going up. Yeah, looks like just one drop for 10, but they quickly go up after that. So if you want to play Shine Greymon, you might want to get on that one soon. All right, jumping over to the next one, Megidramon. So we go back here. We got new Chaos Galgamon support here that can do some really cool. He can do some really cool stuff, and if you look, his effects here are on play and end of your turn, so they're not like when digivolving effects. So this old Megidramon here of his on deletion, you get to play out, one Gilmon, one Takato from your hand and trash. So that there could be some synergy there. And then his name is treated as Chaos Galgamon, so anytime you've got any kind of Chaos Galgamon synergies, he could be a good include in this deck. Okay, so, and this is the old Altart from, or not old, but like middle, I guess, from EX2. It's Not the Four Great Dragons one, but the EX2 one here. So it's still pretty cheap here. And you'll look at the little swoop. It's already going back up. So we're in that stage. People are looking ahead at this point, and you can see where people are just offloading it, and now people are like, oh, new set coming out. This guy could be used in that deck. All you people that are Chaos Galgamon fans, I know you're limited, but I know you're out there. This would be a good one to go and pick up. It's super cheap right now, and at this price, why not? If you have any inclination of playing this deck, it's so cheap. There's really no reason not to. All right, next we got Blue Flare. Of course, we already talked about Blue Flare a little bit there. Blue Flare is not cheap. It hasn't been cheap. It's never really gone down in price. Like the pre-releases and stuff like that. These foil Melbergermons, foil Deckers, the pre-release Blazing Memory Boost. Here's the thing about this card. If you're a Blue Flare player, you probably already know this. But if you're not and you're looking to get into this deck, pick these up right now. $4 a copy. Actually, I'm probably going to go buy a couple right after this. $4 a copy. If you're not familiar, the pre-release is the only correct wording because it says that you get to play out a Kiriha, whereas the regular printing is it's Christopher. It's the wrong name. It's the English name instead of Kiriha, which is what they actually went with for the English format was Kiriha. So the pre-release version is the only way to get the correct text. And if you ever have anyone that wants to argue with you, it's just better to have the correct version of the card. So if you want to play this, pick up the pre-release versions. It makes everyone's life easier, makes life easier on yourself when you get those rule sharks that come at you saying, well, that's not what's on the card. Sorry, that's not how it works. You're cheating or whatever. Get the pre-release version and you don't have to worry about that argument ever. Kiriha box toppers here, 745, Greymon's right here, pre-release foil upgrades, right? Well, he's not, but the Melbergermon though, specifically, the Decker as well. Decker's usually used a little bit less though, but Melbergermon's fantastic card, really, really good for the deck. And a great foil to pick up. The Metal Greymon here, alt art, $25 still, $26 basically. Come on, like that should be self-explanatory of how popular this card is. Shoutmon Cross 7 is only 11, and this card is used everywhere, right? You see these decks all over the place. They're either playing the Cross 7 version or they're playing the Merva Rush version of Cross, and this card's only at 11, and this guy's over here sitting at 26. That should tell you how popular this stuff is. I mean, Blue Flare literally just won the regional for Europe, last weekend, I think. So yeah, Blue Flare's still got some heat packing into it, and we get more support with it in the future. Definitely a deck that can very easily be on people's radar. Decker Greymon alt art here sitting at $10. There's some good stuff that you could definitely pick up here. Some great foil upgrades and things like that. So go ahead and pick them up if you want to play this. Some of them are, like I said, some of these are great price. These other two up here, they're pretty expensive. So you better really, really want it if that's the case. Moving on though, for the Galgamon support, Thomas here, box topper, $4. That's pretty cheap. His price has been like kind of just all over the place recently. People have been trying to use like blue tamers and all kinds of stuff, and this guy allowing your Digimon to unsuspend, that could be really strong in something like, say, Ulforce, right? So there was some Thomas text in Ulforce and whatnot, but clearly that hasn't panned out, and he's kind of dropped in price a little bit. Fantastic card though. For Galgamon, so go ahead and pick it up because it's definitely going to be one of those that's going to be super heavily used going into the next format where people are playing that deck. Same with our Nikolai here, same thing, used in Ulforce. That's why its price has already begun kind of creeping up. Like, it's not a huge jump here between this like $5 to what it is now, like $6, $7. Because it was used in Ulforce, but once it's also used in next set with the Galgamon deck, and the Galgamon deck, it pops off. All right, don't be just shining it away because it's Galgamon. It actually gets pretty good next set. So you're going to want to get your alt arts for it. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want, if you're going to play the deck, you're going to want your alt arts. That's just all there is to it. And this guy's going to easily go up to be about, I would say, 12 to 15. So probably double in price. Mirage Galgamon. Oh my god. This guy's just been kind of teched into a lot of things lately. He's just a really good card because his when digivolving effect, it bounces and also can bounce a security, which is really strong. Just easily, basically comes a 3 evo cost and can bounce, a security back to hand, which is really, really good. And it's just been kind of teched into a lot of things. But look at this buyout. Boom, 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 boom. And it then just like starts to skyrocket. It went from 10, because literally I traded for one copy for $11, and then the next day it was $25. So yeah, literally one of these cells is actually my cell. I think it's actually this one right here. I picked one up and sold in 10 seconds, or not 10 seconds, 10 minutes. Sold for 25. So yeah, this card is really good, first of all, and it gets more support next set, making it way more consistent. Yeah, Mirage Galgamon is a good card, and the alt art actually looks really, really good as well. If you haven't seen it in person, this little picture here doesn't do any justice. It's a really good looking alt art. So might want to be looking at getting them if you can. A lot of people have these like sitting in their binders. Like, people don't even know how much value they're sitting on right now, so you might be able to swoop in, get some good trades going, and pick these up off of people because, yeah, they're going to be even more sought after, and they're going to definitely sit around this $25 price tag for a quite a while. I think it'll be a pretty good investment if you can get them off of people for, a lower value than what they're at. If you could have got them at the 11 value, I know we're a little bit late on this one, but yeah, it's like literally, it just in days, it went from nothing to 25. But yeah, last card I want to touch on is Renamon. So there is one card that still kind of works a little bit, and that's the Renamon here, because of the little bit of the synergies it has here with the new stuff. The inheritable and things like that is pretty solid. Now remember, these names and stuff like this don't really touch on the new stuff as much, because it's all new names, because it's new Digimon and things like that. But there are other uses for the Renamon here, so it might be a good one to pick up if you really like the alt arts. These EX2 alt arts have just like held on to really good value, so not a bad idea to pick up if it's ever an EX2 alt art. EX2 seems to be, I don't know if it was just short printed or what, but I know it was in very short supply. And once it was gone, and that's why, like, stuff like the Beelzemon, those prices were just through the roof, and they've held, even after the hype has died down, the price has held a decent bit compared to what it was. It went from $2 to $40. Now it's back down to $15 to $20, and it'll probably stay at that way just because those cards are so limited. EX2 cards are hard to find, so the fact that there's an EX2 alt art for less than 10 that's used in future decks, not a bad one to pick up here. It's definitely, prices dropped a little bit here, but it's kind of, it got that new announcement, and then so people are more and more picking it up, so you can already see the price going back up a little bit. Now this is just probably, out of the whole list though, this is probably the least useful in the next set, but I still think it was at least worthy of mentioning. So definitely going to be some good stuff worthy of picking up. Some of these prices, like I said, are like really good. Blazing Memory Boost, fantastic low price on that right now. Megidramon here, really good price. Shine Greymon, like I said, this is one of the best alt art schemes they've ever done with the gold circuit board background. $10, not bad, and that's $10 after the price spike has already started. So you can expect this one to keep going up very easily. And yeah, these are going to be a tough one, tough nut to crack on these guys right here. But if you can score a deal, definitely do it, because Shine Greymon is going to be very good moving forward after all the support it's going to get. Because yeah, this is just the second of the 3 waves of Shine Greymon support coming at us, and it just gets more and more insane with every set. But yeah, so just a side set, so not too big, so not a ton of cards to cover, but hopefully some of this will help you guys out and pick some of these up before they get worse. If you've ever watched any of these videos, I would say like 9 times out of 10, we're pretty much spot on with every card that we talk about. It always goes up. Whether that's $5, whether it's, you know, $35, pretty much every card on this list will go up, and maybe one of them won't. I don't know which one won't. Maybe just the Renamon. If I was to put money on one, I would say the Renamon one wouldn't. But everything else on this list should definitely go up. So definitely get on these while you can.